January 15th, 2009. A plane lands in the Hudson River. You might remember where you were when you heard the news. I remember being at my grandma's house and seeing the images and videos and pictures and just marveling at the fact that everybody got off that plane okay. Several years ago, I went to Charlotte, and right beside the Charlotte airport is the Miracle on the Hudson plane. You see, the plane was on its way from New York to Charlotte, so one could say the plane made it to Charlotte just a little bit late. And you can go around the plane, and in the back you see how obliterated the plane was. It's truly a crazy experience. But what's even crazier is that the day I was there was a person talking about their experience being on the plane, because a lot of the survivors live in the Charlotte area, and the museum invites many of them back certain Saturdays of the year. So I went up to the person and I asked the question they've probably been asked 50,000 times. I asked them, what was it like being on that plane? They said something that shocked me. They said it depended on where you sat. The person said if you sat at the front of the plane, you've had some landings on land that were harder than on the Hudson. He said as you got farther back, it got worse and worse. If you were in the middle of the plane, you really felt it. And if you were on the back of the plane, it was absolutely brutal. Of course, the first class at the front of the plane, of course they felt it the least. That's just the way it works sometimes. But what's remarkable about it is you may have seen the movie Sully. The pilot would have felt it the least because he was at the very front of the plane, but he was the last one to get off. When I was watching the Miracle of the Hudson on the news, I was thinking everybody was feeling it the same way. But when you talk to people on the plane in the middle of the crisis, you realize that everybody felt it in a different and unique way. As leaders, when we're going through a crisis, when we're piloting our team through a crisis, we need to figure out which row are we sitting in. Because it's possible in many scenarios we're in row 10, maybe 15, when there's a lot of people, rows and rows behind us, that are really feeling it. And sometimes we need to be self-aware enough to look up, figure out what row we're in, and realize that there's people on our team that are really feeling it, even if we're not.